Hi, Tim Roye, and a pleasure now to be joined by the new head coach of the Golden State Warriors. That is Mark Jackson. And Mark, this is about interview number 2,000 on the day for you. But it's got to be such an exciting day for you. We're very excited to have you on board.
Well, thank you. It is absolutely a thrill and an honor. I'm thankful for this organization, great ownership, front office, and instilled a lot of confidence in pulling the trigger and hiring a guy like me. This is a great area I'm very familiar with, and we're going to have a blast here in the Bay Area.
Now, I know you talked about the fact that you dreamed of being a great player, an announcer, and a coach, and you would listen to the radio, which, of course, as a radio guy, I kind of like that. Marv Albert, I assume, calling games.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. But I also know that as a player, you wanted to be the next Earl of Pearl, I believe.
I did want to be Earl of Pearl Monroe as a youngster. I wore number 15, and incredible basketball player. I just couldn't score like him, but that's where I really got as a youngster, going to the park, dribbling with my back to the opponent, because I was acting like I was Earl of Pearl Monroe. So blame him.
Would you work on your Earl spin move at that point? Or?
It was his spin move, and it only got worse because after he retired, it became Magic Johnson. So I went to the park and was him, and I still kept my back to my opponent. So both of those guys has had a tremendous impact on me as a basketball player throughout my career.
And one of the things you talked about in the press conference I thought was very interesting about how as a point guard you got to call plays, got to run the offense, had that feel on the floor. As a point guard, having to deal with guys who want shots and they want the ball at certain points, does that help you in terms of dealing with personalities?
That's coaching. You know, that's exactly coaching. You got to be able to understand who to get the ball to, who to stay away from, who to talk, who needs a pep talk, who needs to be stroked, who needs to be pretty much everything. You're the extension of the coach on the floor, so you have to have a total understanding of the game. Now, if you're just a scoring point guard that's trying to get yours, you don't have any clue about those other things. But if you're running the point guard position the way that it's supposed to, you should have an understanding of everything that's taking place.
I spoke to Jeff Van Gundy the other day, and we were talking about you and your vision. What I would like to know about that is which coach do you think gave you the most that you're going to use as a head coach now?
It'd be really unfair to point out one guy playing for 5 Hall of Famers and one on the way in Rick Pitino. Rick Pitino, the best coach I ever played for. Learned so much from him. Pat Riley, an incredible coach. Larry Brown, an incredible coach. Lou Conasecca, my high school coach, Pat Quigley. So many great coaches, Jeff Van Gundy, and even having the opportunity to talk to coaches as an announcer, whether it be Doc Rivers, Rick Carlisle, Eric Spoelstra, Greg Popovich, doesn't matter. I had an opportunity to sit with these guys and talk about strategies, their beliefs, and what they were trying to accomplish. And those moments, you can't put a price on.
Will all that go into your thinking as you prepare to figure out how you want to run your practices, how you want to implement your schemes?
Well, absolutely. If you want to be great, watch people that do what you want to do. And then you put yourself in position to not make the mistakes that you'll fall into being stubborn and trying to do it like you know everything. I have the luxury of watching greatness, and it makes it easier to attempt to duplicate it.
Now, at the time of this taping, you're still working the NBA Finals, but are you anxious to get this started?
I'm very excited, especially when you're around Peter and Joe, when you're around Bob and Larry and Jerry, when you're around Mike Malone, when you're around these guys, it's like, okay, we're ready. We are ready because we got this part of the job covered.
Now, let's talk a little bit about your family. You mentioned your wife and your 4 kids. What was their reaction to this, and are they excited about becoming West Coasters?
Well, we actually live in California now, Southern California, so very excited that the move is not going to be one where distance plays a factor. You know, it's very close. And they're thrilled about it. They're thrilled about the platform that I will have now, and looking forward to it. So I have an incredible family, starting with my wife and 4 beautiful kids, and I truly am blessed, and thank God for them.
So I guess the point I want to bring up is we're broadcasting this on Warriors.com. They're not Laker fans, are they?
They're Warrior fans.
Okay, good.
They are Warrior fans. They have no choice.
Now you're obviously a preacher background. Does that help with in terms of maybe getting that fire and brimstone into the pep talks?
Well, it's who I am. A lot of people don't know I am a pastor of a church in Van Nuys, California called True Love Worship Center, and that made this even tougher.
Yeah. So you have to leave your flock, so to speak.
Absolutely. But a great preacher once told me, just because somebody needs you somewhere doesn't mean that that's where you have to be. Make sure that you are where you're supposed to be. And I look forward to this platform and answering the call.
So go back in your career for me for just a moment. You're drafted in the NBA, hometown team. Now you become an announcer on a nationwide stage. Now you're named as a head coach of an NBA team. Describe those 3 throws.
Well, it really is a dream. It's an absolute dream. I couldn't envision putting this thing together the way that it's come. Not just as a coach, but my entire life. I've beaten the odds. And I look forward to the fact that I'm not done. The game is not over, and I'm going to continue to beat the odds. The thing is, in this situation, I'm going to need some co-stars. I'm going to need some people alongside of me to make life so much easier, starting in the front office, starting in ownership, starting in assistant coaches, and then starting with players in uniform, executing the game plan where we all will look unbelievably good at the end of the day.
All right. Mark Jackson, thank you so much for joining us. We're thrilled to have you here, and as you said, things be changing here in Northern California.
I'm excited. Thank you.